Another day, your sons, your dogs, so good. Ecstatic on top of the mountain. Yeah. Being here. So good. All right, team. Thank you for this song just does it, right? Is it me? This song just does it. And it's like anytime, this is one of the songs that you should put in your mood playlist. Anybody practicing here the energetics of sales that we did last week? Are you all practicing? Just put it in the chat. What have you been doing? Did you create your playlist? What have you been doing that has been working? What are you finding out about this process so far? This is definitely a song for you to put in your playlist prior to your discovery calls. And did my rise and shine before discovery call and got a yes. So good. Tell me more. Tell me more about how have you all been using the energetics of sales for just to prime you for your sales calls, your outreaches. And if you haven't used it, just put it there. I want to know if you haven't used it. Today, we are going to talk about objection handling. And, okay, have not used it, haven't used it. I want to say even if you're not practicing, if you haven't had any discovery calls, and if you haven't been doing any much outreaches, go do them. First of all, team, there's no boat coming to rescue anyone here. Huh? We either do it or we do it. So we're here. We already made the decision, we made the investment, we made that, we took action on that calling. Now we actually got to show up to it. Now it's the marathon, right? So there's no boat coming. You got to show up and do it. So if you're not doing outreaches, go do them. You're not really going to be able to practice your discovery calls. And what I'm going to teach you today is going to be too over the top if you're not doing your discovery calls, because you won't have any context. So the more you can go and create opportunities to have sales conversations, I don't care if they're floppy. I really don't. We're putting in the reps right now. The faster you're gonna grow that muscle, and the more you're gonna be equipped to have your conversations. And don't forget that you have space to ask me questions here. So please make sure that you do them. And even if you're not having discovery calls yet, go and do the energetics and the prime and shine somatic work that we did last week, because you can apply them to your day-to-day. You can apply them to just how you start your day period, and to set the tone of how you want to create your day. And that is just a practice on how you be in life. And it's just powerful when you have that level of mastery over yourself, that you have so much awareness on how you choose to be. That is self-mastery, in my view. There's this I've read it and heard it many times, and I really believe in it, that in the ethers, right, we don't see it, but in the ethers there's just different frequencies. And just like radio frequency, like you attune to different radio frequencies. And sometimes we attune to one and we feel like, oh, this is how I am today, or this is how, like, this is happening because that happened last week, and activated something that happened 2 years ago. And so we are just we're connected to a frequency that it's not productive, and we have a hard time leaving that frequency. But really, we can choose. Once we know that we can choose which frequency that we want to be attuned to, everything changes, because you realize that now you are fully in choice. You are the absolute creatrix and designer of your life. And you are at an art gallery looking at different pieces of art, and you choose this one. This one's what I want to be dressed as today. And it's this one. And sometimes you really wanted to feel grief and feel, go through those places where you can cry and you can empty it out. This is great. But choose, learn to choose. And so just see if you're feeling something, just start seeing this something as being, oh, I'm hooked to this energetic frequency that it's in the ethers right now. And this is the frequency of that, of anger, of rage. But there's also somewhere a frequency of joy, of curiosity, of play. And so how do I choose that? And these somatic exercises that I gave you last week are definitely ways that you can choose that. You put a song like this, or you look at your children and you just start jumping with them with a song like this. It's like something else comes up, right? There's a different frequency that comes alive. And so that's what you want to practice so that you can really choose. So with that, I would love to check in with you all, how you're doing. And I would love to check in on something with you all around when people have you do we have people here that you feel like you're always coaching and people are always asking you for advice and always wanting to pick your brain, and then they don't become clients. They just they you give them a little something and then they're off they go. Just put it yes or no in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. Give me more. If you don't have that, just put no. I want to know where you're at. We have 85 people here on the call in this moment. Yes. Okay. So majority is yes. And let me do a little um just share a little bit of a perspective here for you all. When people are wanting to pick your brain, one, there is something there that you have that they want. Do we agree on that? Yeah. Which means what? If there is something that they want that you have, tell me more. Like what is the opportunity here for you and this person? Yes, you can help them. Value to offer. Amazing. Which means that there's huge potential here for them to be your client. And so I want to train you to stop giving advice for two reasons. One, you're giving them a Tylenol. They might be having a heart issue and you're giving them a Tylenol and a Band-Aid to fix the heart issue. Who are you helping with that? Really? Put it in the chat. No one. No one. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping them. You're not helping your bank account. You're not helping your mission. You're not helping your business. You're definitely not helping them. So I'm going to invite you to start using something that Coach Tori actually shared here with us. When somebody wants to pick your brain or to ask you for advice or to ask you questions, you can use that as an opportunity to uncover the problem and the impact the problem is having in their world, which this is that sequence. Yeah, that it's like a great gateway for that sequence that I shared with you all, the guide. And then use that moment to say, wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all that. That's exactly what I do for a living. Coach Tori's words. I have helped X amount of people with the exact same thing. I would totally be happy to chat more with you about how we can potentially work together. Why don't we just get on a call so we can just go deeper into it? Because there's definitely something there for you. I've seen it over and over and over. do you see the the space where you get to resist the temptation to go and help them? Because let's face it, helping also makes us feel good, right? Our ego is like, yeah, I'm this shit. I can do this. I'm meant for this. My soul is also alive because I got a little quick fix of what it is to feel to do this for a living or for in life. Do you know what I mean? So it's a dopamine hit that we get. It's good for the ego. So we're filling up our ego account. I would love to actually harness that moment of like, oh, I really want to go there, but I won't, because it's not in service of anyone for me to do that. And you can absolutely do it with friends. There are some friends that I don't want to coach because I'm too close to them. And so I'm happy to have a friendly conversation. I'm happy to tell them, just come over, let's have a glass of wine, let's just be friends. And then while I am in that friendship conversation, I ask for permission. Do I have your permission to, do you want me to wear my coach hat here? Because I'll be happy to, because not your friends don't want you to coach them necessarily. They just want you to listen and be there for them. So always ask for permission and say, do you want me to wear my coach hat? Because I'm happy to just to be really a good friend here and just like hang out with you in this situation. But I can also put my coach hat for a few minutes if you want to go there, and give them choice if you want. If you want. And then some friends, I'm like, okay, this is an actual thing that we could definitely work together on. And um, I would actually be happy to have them as a client. I would enjoy working with them as a client. And with that, in that case, I would say, hey, do you want to explore like what would it be like to work together as like a coaching relationship here? I will just share that. And if not with me, I can definitely connect you with a lot of people that are in my space. So they're always in choice. Yeah. With that said, I got a lot of messages from some of you wanting to pick my brain. And you're happy to pick my brain here on this call, but I don't have the bandwidth to answer messages individually outside of the call. So your questions that you have, please bring them here. We always have a Q&A. I can, if you want more time for Q&A, we can do that. Put in the chat if you want more time for Q&A. Usually I teach for the first hour and then we do a good Q&A for 30 minutes. Put it in the chat if you want more, or if you're happy with what we have, just raise your hand faster. You know, sometimes I'm like, who has questions? And I'm just waiting. Just raise your hand. And let's just protect the boundary of this container. And I'm fully available to offer you all everything that I have inside the time that we have here. Outside is just not doable for me to even answer all the questions. My aide all of a sudden, she's like, what's going on here? What should I do with these? And I just figured I would address it on the call. Are we good with that? Can we honor that? So please feel free to ask me your questions here, and I will go wherever, talk about anything here, and then it's just I'm happy to watch your journey as we go, and it's just not